Hello everyone. So yeah, this video here is in regards to basically how I identify what I am and who I am. Seems to be a lot of confusion and I get this quite a lot. So I'm just going to basically come out. I am a man.
Okay, what the
That's not your mother, it's a man, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Why won't this wig come off?
Kidding aside, no guys, so there's been a lot of questions in regards to my sex and my gender and how I identify. A lot of people are confused, and the reason why that is because I am actually an androgynous person. Rest assured, I am 100% male. I am a man. I have a penis. I was born with a penis.
How big are we talking? How big is big? Show me with your fingers. Can you show me what that is in terms of... Show me.
That's 5.5.
Well, that's very underwhelming.
XY chromosomes. My DNA is male. I grew up as a boy. My parents raised me as a boy. And I self-identify as a man.
You're fucking a white male!
Now, a lot of people will get confused and mislabel me basically as a female or a lesbian. And I mean, I do sort of look the part. Yeah, so basically, I am a male. I identify as male, but a lot of people mistake me as being a female based off my very effeminate body, even though, surprisingly, I am actually a 30-year-old man, going to be 31. Now, the indicators that confuse a lot of people is that the fact that I don't have any broad shoulders or big chest. It's very difficult for me to grow facial hair. I only get a little bit on my chin and a little bit on my side. Me being blonde as well just means that my hair is slightly lighter and therefore you can't pick that up. So a lot of the times I don't have the traditional indicators of what being a male entails. So because I don't have those indicators, a lot of people get confused. Also, I don't have a very deep voice. I have a very neutral voice. I get mistaken as a girl quite a bit on the phone, dealing with security questions for my Visa card too is just, it's horrendous, trust me. So there's the neutral voice. Apparently, I've been told that because I articulate myself pretty well, that this also indicates more of a feminine trait versus a masculine trait. Go figure. So there's that. I articulate my sentences. I have a neutral sounding voice, barely can grow facial hair, and I'm very youthful looking. I've been mistaken as Peter Pan or, having a little bit of elf blood in me. And I wear a lot of boy clothing. It's actually very difficult for me to wear men's size clothing. When I go shopping at a regular store such as Walmart or Superstore or something like that, I usually have to go into the young boy section because those clothings tend to fit me a lot better than masculine clothing. And another indicator was that I was more interested in arts and crafts and literature and reading, poetry kind of stuff, which, could be argued that it's not generally a masculine trait, more of a feminine trait, since most women and girls tend to favor the arts versus things such as sports or working out, gymnastics kind of stuff, right? So because of that, I never really did gym class. I didn't really like gym class. I liked it when it was a joint gym class where there was girls and boys. But then once in grade 10, we finally segregated into the single-sex gym classes, so boy-only classes versus girl classes. I found that the guys there would really pick on me. I was small, short, and skinny, and big mouth. Sports wasn't for me. So I gravitated towards the arts in theater, traditional art. As you can see behind here, I painted this, that one too. Thank you. So because I dealt with more of a artistic route, so being small framed, more effeminate, more articulate with my way of life, everybody just assumed that I was a girl. It started happening around when I was about 15, 16, when I noticed it, where a lot of people would mistake my gender being a girl. It kind of really bothered me at first, and just because I didn't really put on makeup, I wasn't playing with girl toys, I didn't really do a lot of things that were deemed feminine by society. So it kind of got under my skin a bit. And I kind of attacked a lot of people at first and got really upset. But later on in life, as I started to grow older and hopefully wiser, I started realizing that a lot of people who mistake my gender or my age or my sex, and especially sexuality, the more I got to realize that they're not doing it maliciously. They just don't know. And I find a lot of people who just kind of fall back on what they would assume didn't mean that they were a bad person, right? It just meant that they didn't know. So after that point, probably around the first years of college, so I would have been 18, 19 when I started college, I started teaching people what this meant, right? So androgyny is just basically, well, let's just look at the definition, shall we? Androgyny is the combination of masculine and feminine characteristics. Gender ambiguity may be found in fashion, gender identity, or sexual lifestyle. It can also refer to one's singing or speaking voice. This is basically me in a nutshell. So singing or speaking voice, being that not a deep voice, people would stake me as a girl. Fashion, gender identity, and sexual identity, those kind of fall into place. You see a lot of this within the fashion realm, both as a kind of gender neutral or a marketable value. What better way to sell more clothing than to make it gender neutral or, androgynous, basically so that both masculine and feminine people, aka men and women, will more likely buy your clothing if it's suitable for both male and female. I find that in the fashion industry, it's focused mainly around females and women versus men. Like, there's not a lot of options for men, whereas there's a bajillion options for women. And women tend to be the prime purchasers and buyers of fashionable clothing because they are more about their image, more about the looks, and more so than men. Obviously, that's changed a bit with the gay culture and gay men taking more of a stance with that. So, fashion is fashion. You choose what you like to dress as. I still think that fashion is heavily weighted towards feminine traits than it is masculine. You can argue with that, but that's just how I see it. So yes, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I am a male. I am 30 years old. I know I don't look it, and I know I don't sound like it, and I know that I don't typically have the masculine indicators, the outer indicators, to showcase that I am in fact a male. But I do identify as a man, and I'm pretty sure I'm a man since I have a penis.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant
Dick!
Yeah.
Take a look out of starboard.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker!
Oh, where?
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Willie.
Yeah.
What's that? Well, it looks like a giant...
Johnson,
Yes, sir.
get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
So there it is. I hope everybody understands that. If you want to argue and say, well, you're just a dyke, well, go ahead. I make fun of the fact that I look like a lesbian every day. I just, why take these in? I find it very interesting that certain gay people and certain minorities or victims of the world, bring it upon themselves that their identity is the only thing that defines them. And for me, I never thought that. Like, my sexuality doesn't define me. My outer image doesn't define me. The things I say and do, the ideas that I come forward with, my contribution to society, how my compassion to people is what defines me. My sexual identity, my gender identity, and like that doesn't define who I am. And I hope that it isn't the only thing that defines you as a person. I love strong feminine women. I love strong masculine women too. I love more masculine men, obviously. But I also understand that there can be strong feminine men as well. So, you know, it's who you are as a person, not what you are that defines you. And I think we've forgotten that message. You know, we need to uplift that message for our youth and tell them that, great, you're gay. What else do you got? Or, hey, you're more feminine than masculine. What else do you got? Find the means to allow these younger people to express themselves, but not pigeonhole their identities to just one or two things. Like, it's just redundant. Like, nobody cares. Whoever you identify as is not relative to what needs to get done, right? Like, if there's a job that gets done, it don't matter what sexuality you have. It don't matter what's between your legs. It's whether or not you are capable in doing this job and coming with a solution. I'm not going to change my image. I'm not going to do things out of the norm for me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Basically, my life has always been an androgynous one, and that has been the way it is. That is my reality. Okay? Your reality might be that men are manly men, lumberjacks with huge beards and big muscles and all that, but that's not my reality. My reality is what it is. Take it or leave it. I hope that explains a little bit of it. I'll probably do a lot more videos in regards to the difference between androgynous people, intersex people, and transgender people. So look out for those. And yeah, tell me what you guys think. How many of you actually thought I was a lesbian? Be honest. Oh, and as a bisexual male, I've been name called everything under the rainbow. Pun intended. So if you want to call me a fag, go ahead. If you want to call me a dyke, go ahead. If you want to call me a lesbo or fucking carpet muncher or, you know, fudge packer, I don't really care. It doesn't really affect me. I can probably guess where you're coming from it, and you are entitled to freedom of speech, so insult away. I don't care. It doesn't really hurt me. It's just words. So, on that note, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the new subscribers and the comments there. I'm really quite surprised about it. I'm still quite new, so if there's anything I could do to improve my videos, I am not afraid of taking constructive criticism. Please be nice, and yeah. And don't forget to take care of one another. Bye, guys.
Penis, the male reproductive organ, also known as tallywhacker, schlong, or...
Wiener? Any of you kids want another wiener?
Dad, what's that?
I don't know, son, but it's got great, big...
Nuts! Hot, salty nuts! Who wants some? Lord almighty!
That looks just like my husband's.
One-eyed monster. Step right up and see the one-eyed monster.
Hey, what's that? It looks like a big...
Woody! Woody Harrelson? Can I have your autograph?
Sure, no problem. Oh, my Lord. Look at that thing.
So big.
I've seen bigger. That's...
Just a little prick.